What is up, Woodchuck? I am back again with a quick video today because of comic hashtag reader 1987. He asked me, what do I think is the best 3 or 4 issues in a row by any character? Best 3 or 4 issues in a row to ever be put out. It can be taken a lot of ways. Are we talking reading? Are we taking first appearances? Just iconic? What are we talking about? Well, let me tell you something. Comic / whatever you are, reader, 1987. What I believe, after sitting around thinking about it, was a great question. I took it as far as what do I think is the 3 or 4 best comic books ever put out in a row by a series without having any duds. And I took as far as valuable or iconic. And I thought about it for 3 or 4 days. And ASM 13, 14, and 15 popped up first in my head. I was thinking, wow, that was a great run. If you collected comic books there for about, 3 months, you got some winners because you got the first Mysterio with 13. Then 14, you got the first Green Goblin, and it's got a Hulk in it. And 15, you turn around and got the first Kraven, which has got a movie coming out soon. So you picked up 3 first appearances that's pretty badass. But what I came up with was even better than that. The best 3 or 4 issues ever in a row had to be, something we don't talk about a lot on here, but Amazing Spider-Man #1. First, this was a $1 billion decision to come out with his own self-title. After Amazing Fantasy was so popular, they decided, hey, let's give this chump a chance. And it was a $1 billion decision. Because think about all the crap that came just because they decided to give Amazing Spider-Man his own title. We got video games. We got action figures. We got pajamas. We got lunch boxes. We got movies. We got all of that and more. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man is like probably the #1 thing going. And over the last 20 or 30 years, if you think about it, how much money have they made just because they decided to give this one book a chance? Amazing Spider-Man, his own self-title. So that was a $1 billion decision. Somebody needs to get a raise that came up with that because it worked out pretty well for them. But after Amazing Spider-Man 1 in March of 1963, issue 2 came out. In issue 2, how iconic. The Vulture is still around to this day. And, you're talking, 60 years? We're still talking about the Vulture. He's still in movies. He's still doing his thing. He's an iconic Spider-Man or Marvel villain. I love the Vulture. So, think about it. That's issue 2. If you just picked up them 2 months issues, you're rich. And then issue 3 came out with Doc Ock. Doc Ock, probably the biggest, either him or Green Goblin. One of them's the biggest villain of Spider-Man of all time. Doc Ock is the man. He's still around after 60 years. This book is iconic. People love this book. I've had people try to buy this book from me. Never sold a book in my life, but hey, 3 books in a row that are all gangsta. And that is the top 3 books I feel ever in a row. I can't think of nothing else. But if you even think, it even goes to 4. The Sandman. The Sandman, first appearance of the Sandman. Iconic villain, still around. If you collected comics just for like half a year during this period of 1962 or 63, I'm burping up meatball sub from Subway. If you collected comic books just for these 4 months or whatever, during these 4 titles, you're rich. 1 through 4 is banging. You got the first appearance of the Vulture, first appearance of Doc Ock, first appearance of Sandman, the first self-titled Spider-Man. They could have just dropped it after AF-15 was a success, but no, somebody saw the need, to ooze that need and feel people's fulfillment to get out some of this stuff. And what happened now is Spider-Man's an icon. All because they came out with book 1 and book 2 and book 3 and book 4 was all success. And golly, if you got to build it on 4 pillars, y'all did a good job in the 4 first copies. I'll tell you that. You got 4 pillars to build it on. 3 major villains and this new Spider-Man character that people seem to love. So Comic Reader 1987, that would be my opinion of the first 4 ASM books. Because, I mean, you can't even look at, Amazing Fantasy 15 because the stuff around Amazing Fantasy 15 sucked. 14, all that sucked. I can't really think of other big runs, Some people like Fantastic Four, 50 and 51 or whatever. That's just 2 books. I can't think any more books or 3 or 4 deep of just, hit after hit after hit after hit. That first 1 through 100 AMS run is amazing. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. I'm not really a Amazing Spider-Man fan as much as I am the villain fan. I love all the villains, and that's why I collected all of them. But I can't think of another 3 or 4 issues in a row that was so important to the industry, that is so iconic with bad guys and first appearances. So that's what I'm going with. Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 4. If y'all have got any more that you can think of, don't say Amazing Spider-Man 13, 14, and 15 because I've already said it. But if you can think of anything else, I can't think of anything else that's 3 or 4 issues in a row that's just bangers. But anyway, until the next time, we're under 7 minutes. Hit the like button because it helps me out. Subscribe today if you want some more stupid-ass content like this because I got stupid-ass content for days. Anyway, read your comics.